Hello everyone, welcome back to Python Complete course. In previous lecture, we learned about dictionary and sets, and in this lecture, we will learn about loops in Python. So, from this onwards, programming becomes more interesting because now we can repeat tasks automatically instead of writing the same code again and again. If you understand loops properly, you can solve almost every beginner's level programming question. So let's begin. So first question, that is, what is a loop? Suppose I want to print hello only one time. Okay. I can simply write once again print hello. Okay. That you all know. So now imagine I want to print hello 100 times. Should I write should I write like this? No, I will not write this. No, I will not write monograms. But it is a waste of time. This is exactly why loops were introduced. Okay, a loop repeats the same block of code again and again until a condition becomes false. So, what is the loop? So, we will know a definition. So, what is a loop? A loop is used used to execute the same block of code multiple times, or is a programming statement used to execute a block of code repeatedly until a given condition becomes false. So, three life examples here. First is, imagine a school bell. Every day morning, lunch, evening, the same bell rings again and again. Instead of manually ringing it every second, the system repeats the task automatically. That is exactly how loops work. And second, think about a fan. As long as electricity is available, the fan keeps rotating. When electricity stops, the fan also stops. Exactly the same thing happens inside a while loop. Then third and last real life example, that is, think about charging your phone. While battery is less than 100%, charging continues. Okay. Once battery becomes 100%, charging stops. This is nothing but a while loop. So the question arises that why do we need loop? Without loop, suppose we want to print numbers from 1 to 100. We write once again. So it looks very lengthy. Now imagine printing numbers till 100 or 1000. Impossible manually. So loops solve this problem. So how many types of the loops? First while loop and second for loop. In this part we will start with while loop. So later we will learn for loop. So first is while loop. So the while loop executes once again. The while loop executes a block of code as long as the condition remains true. Once the condition becomes false, the loop stops automatically. Syntax, what is the syntax? while condition statement. So it is a syntax for while loop. Okay. So if you notice one important thing, just like if statement, while loop also ends with a column, and the statement inside it must be properly indented. Indentation is compulsory. So, what is the first example? Count is equal to 1 while count less than is equal to 5, print count is equal to count plus 1. So what will be the output? It is showing. Oh, we did not put colon here. We should put colon here. Okay. So output is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So first count is equal to 1, then 1 less than is equal to 5. So condition is true. Count is 1, so 1 is less than is equal to 5, condition is true. So it prints 1. Then it increase count plus 1, and count is equal to 2. Then again that 2 is equal to 2 less than is equal to 5. Yes, 2 less than. Then 3 less than is equal to 5, true. Then again 4, 5. Then count is equal to 6. Then 6 less than is equal to 5. So it is false. Then loop stops. So it will start. First it will start. Then initialize variable. Then condition is true. So yes. Then it will execute code. Then it will update variable. Then condition again. Then it is if it is false, then loop will be exit. Okay. So a very important point that comes in our mind, that inside a while loop we must update the variable, otherwise the condition will never become false. This creates an infinite loop. So next, what is the example? While print count. So if we so 1 1 1 1. So what happened here? Count never changes. Condition remains true forever. This the program keeps printing 1 1 1 1. So forever. This is called an infinite loop. So what is the correct version? Count plus. So always remember, updating a variable is compulsory in while loops. So what the beginner mistakes that every beginner do, that many beginners forget this line, count plus is equal to 1. Then they think Python is hanging. Actually, their loop is running forever. So always update your loop variable. So next we will see that. So infinite loop, it ends here. Then we will see loop control statements. First, then we will see a practical program based on this. So the question is print numbers from 1 to 100 using a while loop. Let's think before writing code. Where should counting start? Obviously, it should start from 1. When should the loop stop? It should continue until 100. After printing each number, we increase it by 1. Okay, very simple. So num is equal to 1 while num hundred print num num plus equal to 1. So if we your put 1 1 1. So initially num is equal to 1, condition that 1 less than is equal to 100. So yes, true. So it will print 1. Then it will be increased. Then num is equal to true. So 2 less than is equal to 100. So yes. So this process keeps repeating. Finally 100 less than is equal to 100. So it is also true. So it will print 100. So that 101 that it falls, that condition will be stopped. Then loop ends. Then we will have next program that print numbers from 100 to 1. Now let's reverse the counting. Instead of increasing, this time we decrease. Okay. Now it's equal to 100 while now less than greater than is equal to 1. Print now minus is equal to 1. So if we run this program 1 1 1. So initially num is equal to 100. So 100 greater than 1. So it is true. So it will print 100. So 99 is equal to 99 greater than 1. So true. So print 99. So it will be continue. Eventually 1 is greater than is equal to 1. So it will be true. Then it 0 is greater than is equal to 1. So it will be false. And then loop stops. So output is 199, 898, 97. That okay. So next we will have another question, that is multiplication table. This is one of the most common interview questions. The user enters a number, we print the multiplication table. Suppose the user enters 5. Output should be 5 into 1 is equal to 5, 5 to 10, 5 to 15. Uh, so for 5, 10, the 50. Okay. Then if we write the code, input, enter number, so if we will run, so it will also 1 1 1. So input is so let's take it 7 into It should be one second. So if we take the input 7, one second. So we will see the output here. So if we will take input as a 7, so it will write a multiple for 7. Okay. So suppose n is equal to 5, I is equal to 1. So condition that I 1 less than is equal to 10. So it is true. So what will it print? 5 into 1 is equal to 5. So next it will increase I is equal to 2. Again 2 less than 10, yes. Then again 5 to 10. This continues until I is equal to 10. Condition becomes false and loop will be end. So next our program will be coding program will be print even numbers from 1 to 20. Many students solve this using an if statement, but there's an even easier way. Since even numbers increase by 2, we can directly increment by 2. Like num is equal to 2 while num less than is equal to 20 and num not less equal to. So what will be the output? Oh, we have to put a column. So what is the output? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So on. So it is the program. Then our next program is one second. So our next program is print odd numbers from 1 to 20. So logic is exactly the same. Start from 1, increase by 2. So what is so it is the output. One second. Oh, here we have to put num. So what is the output now? So it is the output. So next we will see what the mistakes that we can done. Num is equal to 1 by num in num. So we can forget num plus is equal to 1. So we have to include this also, num plus is equal to 1. Okay. So it is the wrong update, and instead of decreasing, student increase the value. Again, it is the infinite loop. So mistake number 3 that can be done while num is less than 10 and print num. Okay, no indentation. If you put no indentation, that case also be a mistake. Okay, so we have to put an indentation. Okay, so we'll see a second mistake. Num is equal to 100 while num within n is equal to 1. Print num num plus equal to 1. So it is the wrong update, and instead of decreasing, student increase the value. Again, infinite loop. So what is the mistake number 3? We put no indentation here. We also have put an indentation because if we put no indentation, it gives us an error. Okay. So next we will have what list transversal using while loop. So transversing a list using while loop. Till now we have printed numbers, but in real programming we mostly work with collection like list, tuples, strings, and dictionaries. Suppose we have a list like this. Num is equal to 1, 4, 9, 16 till 100. Okay. Our goal is to print every element. How can we do that? So step 1, start from index 0. Once again, start from index 0. So because patching indexing start from 0, and step 2, length num nums, so which automatically gives the total number of element length sum. Okay, then our program should be So if we run this, oh, there should be a column here. So if you run this will be our output. Okay. So initially index will was 0, condition 0 less than 10. So true. Print nums bracket 0. So output will be 1. Then print num bracket 1. Then output will be 0. The continue final index will be 9. Then print it will print 100. Okay. So now index is equal to 10. And condition will be 10 less than 10. No. So it will be end here. Okay. The loop end here. So I will give you a real life example that imagine you have a class of 50 students. Instead of calling each student manually, you use attendance. You start from roll number 1, then 2, 3 until everyone is called. Exactly the same thing happens while transversing a list. Okay. Then we have another coding question. Search an element in a tuple. Now suppose we have num is equal to 1. Same thing. Num is equal to 149. If you copy this thing from here and put here, okay. So user want to search 36. How do we do that? Logic. Visit every element. Compare it with X. If both are equal, print it index. Okay. Program X is equal to 36. I is equal to 0. Then while I less than lamp nums if nums I is print found at index I. Okay. So next I plus say if we run this, so found that index 5. So initially I is equal to 0. We compare 1 is equal to 36. It will be false. It is not 1 is equal to 36. Okay. So if it increases 1, so if we compare 4 is equal to 36, so it will be so first it will continue. Eventually 36 is equal to 36. So it is true. Then it will print found and it found that index 5. Okay. So loop continues because we have not stopped it. Can we stop here? Yes, using break. Break statement. So what is break statement? One second. Yes. So what is a break statement? Break immediately terminates the loop whenever Python encounters. It exits the loop instantly. So a real life example is imagine you are searching for your classroom. Room 101 not found. Room 102 not found. 103 found. Will you keep searching till room 501 500? No, you stop immediately. That's exactly what break does. Okay. So we will see another coding question. But I is equal to 1 while I less than is equal to 10. If I is equal to 6 break, then print I plus is equal to 1. So if we see the output, 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so if you notice 6 is never printed because loop stop before printing it. And search once again, then we have next, that is once again. So this is exactly that we did before, that it once found, no need to search further. If we want to search program using break, this is a better version. This saves time. So next we have continue statement. Okay, so continue is different. It does not exist and stop the loop. Instead, it skips the current iteration and moves to the next one. Like, and I will give a real life example like that. Suppose a teacher is taking an attendance. Roll number one is roll number five is absent. Teacher skips roll number five and continue with roll number six. Attendance doesn't stop. Only one student is skipped. That is exactly how continue works. Okay, so what will be the program? So I is equal to 0 while I less than is equal to 10, then I plus is equal to 1 if I is equal to 5. Continue, print I. I will write by my own hand by showing you the real power while I is less than 10. If I 5 continue, so we will print I. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So what will be the output here? Okay. So if you notice, 5 is skipped, but the loop continues. So next we have, okay, so next we have difference between break and continue. Break stop the loop image completely, and continue skip only one iteration. And break control move outside the loop, and in continue control goes to next iteration. In break used when work is finished, and in continue used when one value should be ignored. Then some mistakes that one should one one can do, one student can do, someone can do that. First, using break instead of continue. The whole loop ends unexpectedly. So mistake number two, forgetting that we have to put I plus is equal to 1 here. Okay. Before continue. This can create an infinite loop because the value never changes. So some Viva question that can be asked from you, that when should we use break? So answer is, use break when you want to terminate the loop immediately after a condition is satisfied. So when should we use continue? We use continue when you want to skip the current iteration but continue executing the remaining iterations. Okay. So next we have for loop in Python. Okay, so next it's time for loop. So in real world Python programming, the for loop is used much more frequently than the while loop because it is simpler and easier to understand. Because let's begin here. So where do we need a for loop? Suppose we have a list of fruits. Once again, suppose we have a list of fruits like this. So our goal is to print every fruit. Using a while loop, we have to write index is equal to 0 while index less than alien fruits print fruits index index. So if you notice that we have to create an index variable, then we have to write the condition, increase the index manually. So this is a lot of extra work. Python provides a much simpler solution. That solution is the for loop. So what is the definition of for loop? So the definition of for loop is used to iterate over a sequence one element at a time. A sequence can be list, tuple, string, set, dictionary, range. Okay. So what was the syntax of for loop? For variables in sequence statements. So it is the syntax of the for loop. Here, variable stores one item from the sequence. Sequence can be a list, tuple, string, etc. So we'll have our first example that fruits apple banana mango for fruits and fruits print fruit. Okay. So what will be the output? One second. Apple, banana, mango. Okay. So if we try run this program, initially we have a fruit is an apple. We have to print the apple. Then next fruit is equal to banana. So it will print banana. So fruit is equal to mango. Then it will print mango. So here list ends. Loop stores automatically or stops automatically. If you notice something important, we never increased any variable manually. Python did everything for us, and this is one of the biggest advantages of the for loop. So one of the real life example that imagine your teacher is checking notebooks instead of asking notebook number 1, notebook number 2 and 3. The teacher simply asks and pick one notebook after another event until the stack is empty. That is exactly how a for loop works. Okay, so next example are based on this condition that print elements of a list numbers 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 1, numbers. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay. So next we have example, another example that print characters of a string. A string is also a sequence. Every character can be accessed one by one. Like name is equal to price, time, for. Okay. So what will be the output of this? PYTHON. Okay. So if we try run initially P prints P, next Y print Y, next T print T. It will be continue finally N till N. Okay. Then loop will be end. Next example, print elements of a tuple. 85, 90, 95, 100. So exactly the same syntax, only the sequence changes. So next we have example that print elements of a set. So remember sets are unordered. Colors, red, green, blue, white, color, colors. So color. So output may be blue, green, red. So or red, green, blue. The color is not granted. It can be any of sequence or unordered. So next we are example that is transfer the dictionary. Dictionary contains keys and values. If we directly use a for loop, Python returns only the keys. Student. Age, So next we have for give any student named K. So what will the output? A name, a city. So if you want to both keys and values, use this equation, and if you want to use both keys and values, so what would be the output? Name Ayush Krishnamurthy, city Delhi. Okay. So a common beginner mistake that can be done, that for I is equal to 1 to 10, this is C++ syntax. Python does not support it. Okay. This I am talking about this. One second. For I is equal to 1 to 10. Okay. So it is free C++ syntax. It does not support it. Python does not support it. And for I in 10. So Python does not support it also. And 10 is not a sequence. It gives an error. And for I in range 10, so we will learn range in the next part. So we'll see that what is example or advantages for the for loop, that is easy to read, less code, okay, and cleaner code, no manual increment, less chance of infinite loop, perfect for list, tuples, strings, sets, and dictionaries. So, what is the difference between while and for? While loop uses a condition, for loop uses a sequence. And while loop manual update required, for loop automatic iteration. While loop can create infinite loops, for loop less chance of infinite loop. While loop best when number of iterations is unknown. For loop best when iterating a collection. Okay. So there is some Viva question that when should we use a for loop instead of while loop? We use a for loop when you need to iterate through a sequence such as a list, tuple, string, set, dictionary, or range. Use the while loop when the number of iterations depend on a condition. Okay. So we will see the range part. What is a range? Okay. So the range function generates a sequence of numbers. It is commonly used with the for loop. Instead of writing numbers manually, Python generates them automatically. Okay. So first range, that is stop. Range stop. So for this, for I in range 5, print I 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you notice something interesting, we wrote range 5, but Python printed 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Why? Because range stop always start from 0 by default. It prints number up to stop minus 1. So range 5 means 0 to 4. If we will try run this, initially I is equal to 0, print 0. Okay, next I is equal to 1, print 1, then I is equal to 2, print 2. Next I is equal to 3, print 3. So next I is equal to 4, print 2. After that I is equal to 5. The loop will be and here. So next we have range start stop. Okay. So we have for I in range 1 6 print I. So if we will take this from here, then put once again. We have not put we some here. Then let's see what one, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here 1 is the starting value, 0, 6 is the stopping value. Remember the stop value is never included Python stop before refreshing or researching it. Okay. Example for I in range 1, if you see this 10, so 10 and here is 16, so here will be 10 11 12 13 14. So here it comes to an end, then we will see train start stop step. Then start stop step means if we will sometimes we don't want to increase by 1, we may start want to increase by 2 or 5 or even decrease. For that we use the step parameter like 1 3 5 7 9. So starting value is 1, it will stop plus 2. So 1 3 5 7 9, the next value would be 11. Since 11 reaches the stop value, the loop will be end here. So next, so if we want to print even numbers for I in range 2 21, so this is the even number. Okay, so instead of using an if statement, we directly generate even numbers by using the step of 2. This makes the program simpler and faster. So next we have reverse counting. Okay, so many beginners think range can only increase. That's not true. Okay, it can also decreases. Example for I in range 10, one second, 10 0 minus 1. So this is okay. So starting value is 10, ending value is 0, step minus 1. This means decrease by 1 after every iteration. So next we have some important questions for loop sum of first and natural numbers. Okay, print numbers from 1 to 100. One second. First we will use it print 1 to 100 for I in range 1 1 0 1. So the output will be this. Okay, so then we have print numbers from 100 to 1. 100 0 minus 1. So this is the output. Okay, next we have multiplication table. We have multiplication table that Okay, we did multiplication table. We will do not repeat it. Okay, then we have print squares. Print, one second, for I range 11, print I into I. So column will be here. So if we have to print squares, okay. So if we have to print cubes, so this is for the cubes. So beginner that can make mistakes, that range 1 to 10, thinking it prints 10. Actually, it prints only up to 9, and range 10 like this, thinking it starts from 1. No, it always starts from 0, and this nothing is printed. One second. Nothing is printed because Python doesn't know how to move from 10 to 1. So correct code is 10 0 minus 1. Next we see, so this, okay. So some Viva questions will be here. What does the range 5 return? Answer is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Which value is excluded in the range function? So answer is the stop value is always excluded. Can range decrease numbers? So answer is yes, using the negative step. So how many arguments can range take? Answer is 1, 2 or 3. So this will be end here. Then we will see some practice questions. Okay. Uh, Write a Python program to calculate the sum of the first n natural numbers. M is equal to input enter number sum is equal to 0 for I in range 1 1. So we will see the output here. So if we will put 5, so it will remove, will do 5. One second, sum is 5. Okay. So Suppose the user enters 5. The loop runs from 1 to 5. The values are added one by one. Okay. 0 plus 1 is equal to 1. 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. 3 plus 3 is equal to 6. 6 plus 4 is equal to 10. So, one second. Okay. So, final number is 15. Then we have another following question that is factorial of a number. The question is find the factorial of a number. Formula that you should know. Enter number. Factorial is equal to 1 for I in range 1 and plus 1. So factorial 1 range. So enter number. If we enter the number 5, so it will now return 1. Okay. So initially factorial is 1. So multiply by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So final answer is, one second. Final answer is 1. Okay. So one second. So final answer is 1. So next we have prime number check. Prime number check. Okay. A prime number has only two factors, 1 and itself. Example 2, 3, 5, 7, 11. So count is equal to 0, range 1, 1. Percentage 1, 0, count. Number as print not prime. So What will be the output if we enter 7? We will get prime number, prime number. So explanation. What is the explanation here? So for 7, factors are 1 and 7, only two factors, therefore prime number. So next we have nested loops. Okay. Sometimes one loop is placed inside another loop. This is called a nested loop. Okay. Example, for I in range 3, for 3 in range 3 and I j. So what will be the output? So it is the output. So what will be the real life example that I can give you? That imagine a school. There are 5 classes. Each class contains 30 students. For every class, the teacher checks every student. One loop runs for classes and another loop runs for students. This is exactly how nested loops work. So let's see it that and okay. So एक another pattern. So this is the output. Okay. So next, if we will do this, so here it is output. So some so next some important Bible question that can be asked. What is a loop? A loop is used to execute a block of code repeatedly until a condition becomes false or until all elements of a sequence are processed. Next question, that is how many loops are available in Python? So answer while loop and for loop. Third question, difference between while and for loop. While loop condition based, for loop sequence based. While loop manual update, for loop automatic update. While loop can become infinite, for loop less chance of infinite loop. And fourth question is, what is an infinite loop? A loop that never ends because its condition always remains true. Example, while true, print loop. Okay, so it is an example. And then what is break? Okay, so answer is it immediately terminates the loop. What is continue? It skips the current iteration and moves to the next iteration. What is range? So the range function generates a sequence of numbers and it is commonly used with the for loop. Can we use a for loop with a string? So answer is yes. Strings are sequences, so we can iterate through each character. So can we use a for loop with a dictionary? So answer is yes. A for loop can iterate through dictionary keys and for using dot items and can access both keys and values. So which loop is better? So answer is neither is universally better. Use for loop when iterating over a sequence for a known number of times, and while loop when repetition depends on a condition. So let's quickly revise today's lecture. We learned what loops and why they are important. We studied the while loop and understood how it works with conditions. We solved practical programs. Then we learned about the break and continuous statement. After that, we explored the for loop and saw how it's simplified iteration. We learned about the range. Finally, we solved some Viva questions such as sum of natural numbers, factorial, prime number. Okay, so that it's for this lecture uh, that I have taught you about what loops in Python. So in another lecture, I will talk about function and recursion. So this lecture comes to an end here. So have a nice day. Thank you very much.